I've just come back from a walk and I need to stretch my legs out. So I thought you might want to join me with a little leg stretch. So you may need a couple of blocks for when we do our little lizard. And then we'll do a little tiny hamstring stretch, so you may want your band to help you with that, or when we come to do our quad stretch. So let's get started. It's a beautiful morning out there for a walk. So you can do this after you've been for a walk, or whether you've been for a run, or maybe if you've done a little home workout and work those legs. We're going to start off in a kneeling crescent, 90-degree angle, pushing down through the right foot, pushing down through the top of the left foot, checking that the pelvis is in neutral. Just a few breaths here, just to connect to your breath. And I'm inhaling and exhaling through my nose. Nice slow inhales, nice soft exhales. And then just gently float the fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling. Lifting up. Stretching out down that left hip flexor here. And then bend the elbows, coming into your goddess arms or your goalpost arms. If it feels too much to have the elbows in line with the shoulders, you can just lower those elbows slightly. Stay broad across the collarbone, so you're opening out that chest. And then just gently release the hands, bring the hands towards the back of your hips. I've got my fingertips pointing down, and this is where you can check to make sure you've got that left glute on. Opening out the chest. Maybe a slight baby back bend. Keeping that left glute on. And then just release. This is where you might need your band, strap, or maybe a towel. I'm going to bend my left knee. I can reach back for my ankle. If you can't reach back for your ankle to stretch out your left quad, you can just grab your strap or your towel and then you can hook it round. Just gives you a little bit more leverage, makes those arms a little bit longer. So you can bring it up. And just hold it there and breathe. I'm not pushing forward, I'm still coming upright, so I'm rising up through the crown of my head. Just enjoying that nice easy stretch. Should just be a nice mild tension there, nothing uncomfortable. Now remember, if you need to hold your stretches for a little bit longer, you feel like you need to linger there a little bit more, then you can just press pause and then restart it when you're ready to join back in. Slowly release the hand, slowly bring that foot down towards the floor. Hinging forward, place the left hand on the floor and I'm going to gently heel toe my right foot out. So I've got a little bit more space between my hand and my right foot. Left shoulder is over my left wrist. Coming into a kneeling crescent twist. And I'm going to just release my left ear down towards my left shoulder. I'm just going to stay here, broad across my collarbones. You have the option here, if you need a little bit more extra stretch in your quads, is to bend that left knee and you can stretch here and hold it. Whichever's going to work for you, whichever feels comfortable. Just a few breaths. If you're holding that left foot, just slowly release, just nice and easy. Come back to center, hands are in the inside of the right foot, coming into lizard. So you have the option here if you want to bring that, adjust that back knee forward or back, just hold it here for a moment. And I like to add in hip circles when I'm here, just to loosen off that right thigh a little bit more. But you can just stay still. And I'm going to slowly change direction. I do like doing hip circles when I'm in lizard. Just feels really good for my legs and my hips. And then slowly come back to center. Now this is where you may need your blocks, because you can bring the lower arms to the floor if they're flexible enough, but if not, you can bring the blocks up. Depending, the height will depend on your flexibility. You can rest your lower arms on the blocks. I'm going to stay on my hands today, and I'm just going to gently roll my foot onto the outside edge of my right foot. Left toes can be tucked or flat on the floor, whichever feels comfortable for you. So my right knee's just coming out to the side, and I can feel it stretching on that right inner thigh. I'm staying open across my chest, so broad across the collarbone. Slow inhales, soft exhales. And if you need to adjust, maybe you need to come up, maybe you want to deepen your stretch, please do so. I'm now going to bring the blocks in. And I'm going to come down. Still keeping the length as much as you can in that spine. A couple more breaths. And remember, if you want to linger here for a little bit longer, just press pause, and then you can restart when you're ready to. I'm going to slowly come all the way up. I'm moving my blocks out the way, and I'm slowly going to crawl all the way back up, coming into down dog. Hips are up nice and high, making that inverted V shape. I'm checking my base, and then from here I'm just going to soften my knees, check that my hips are nice and high, head and neck nice and relaxed. And then from here I'm going to bend my knees a little bit more, changing the sensation of the stretch down the back of my leg. You may feel it a little bit lower down at the bottom of the calf. You may feel it around the ankles, maybe around the front of the foot. And then I'm going to slowly lengthen out my right leg, keeping my left knee bent. Don't worry if the right heel doesn't touch the floor, or you can just stay as you are. And then I'm going to soften that right knee, lengthen out the left leg. Slightly different sensation here to my right leg. Slowly bending my left knee, hips are high. And then slowly lowering all the way down, stepping the left foot forward and grabbing a drink. Checking your base. Pushing down through the bottom of the left foot, pushing down through the top of the right foot, pelvis in neutral. And then reach the fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Feel this stretching down my right hip flexor, the front of my right thigh, reaching up through the fingertips, through the crown of the head, bending the elbows, goddess arms or goalpost arms, stretching out the chest. Option to stay here or release the hands behind. Opening out the chest, maybe a slight back bend. Keep that right glute on. I can feel that right glute activated underneath my right fingertips. Slowly release. Bending that right foot. May feel a little bit tighter this side, maybe a little bit looser. Option to use your strap, band or a towel, stretching down the front of that right thigh. And just focus on the breath. If you're playing music, you can just focus on your music. Or maybe the birds singing outside. And then slowly release that foot, slowly lower it all the way down. Hinging from the hips, come all the way down, right hand down, right shoulder, right wrist. Gently heel toe that left foot out, a little bit more space. Kneeling crescent twist, nice and easy. Maybe releasing the right ear towards that right shoulder. Option to stay here, or maybe you want a little bit more of a stretch for that foot. Don't worry if you don't. You can just keep that right foot on the floor. And then from here, just gently release that foot if you've got it in that left hand. Slowly coming round to your lizard. Just hold it here for a moment. Make any adjustments to feel comfortable. Broad across the collarbone, lovely long spine. And if you need your blocks, have them to hand again. And then I'm going to do some hip circles, but you don't have to, you can hold it in your lizard. And then I'm going to change direction. Remember, if one side feels tighter than the other, you have the option of lingering there, staying there for a little bit longer. And just come to center. If you need your blocks, you can grab them. If you don't have blocks, you can use cushions or a pillar, or just stay up on your hands and just hold it there. And then I'm just going to roll onto the outside edge of my left foot, so my left knee comes out to the side, so I can feel it stretching in that inner thigh on the left. And then coming back to centre. And then I'm going to use my blocks again to come down lower, or you may already be low. If you need to adjust that foot, maybe it needs to come out a little bit wider, please do so. Just a few breaths here. This side's feeling a little bit tight for me today, so I'm going to come out onto my hands for a little bit. And then from here, just slowly come back to tabletop, tucking the toes, coming into a down dog. Checking your base, spreading the fingers wide. Soften the knees if you need to. Pushing up. Bending the knees, hips to high. Lengthen out that right leg. Slowly bend the right knee, lengthen out the left leg. Slowly release, bend those knees a little bit more. Slowly lengthen out both legs. And then slowly lower the knees to the floor. And then just crawl your way down to line on your back. Grab your strap just in case you need it. Once you get to the floor, get nice and comfy. Pelvis in neutral. Gently hug that right knee in, flex the foot. Slide that left leg out nice and long. It's resting on the mat, both feet are flexed. So I'm feeling a slight stretch here across my right glute and my left hip flexor. And you may feel slightly different sensations, which is fine. Slowly slide that left foot in. Now from here, you can grab your towel, your band, and place it around the ball of your foot. You don't have to use a band. You may be flexible enough to bring your peace fingers, your first two fingers, around your big toe and slowly extend that leg out nice and long. I'm resting my left hand on my left thigh just to remind me to keep that thigh, that leg active, so not allowing that left knee to roll out or in. Or you can just hold behind the back of the right thigh, or maybe your hands are up on the right calf. That right knee can be soft. It doesn't have to be locked out. Relax the upper body. A few deep breaths here. Slowing the inhales down, softening the exhales. Just enjoying the stretch, the lengthening all the way down the back of that right leg. Just a nice small tension, you don't have to force anything. If you need to make any adjustments, like backing out the pose a little bit, maybe if you're holding your toe, you may want to hold your calf or a little bit further down that right leg, please do so. And then slowly release, start to soften that right leg, right foot onto the left thigh, releasing the arms down towards the floor. Coming into our 4-point glute stretch, holding it here. Activate the core, slowly float the left foot off the floor. If it feels too much to float the left foot off the floor, you can rest that left foot on the block. Hold it here and use that left leg to push against the right foot and the right foot pushing against that left thigh. Hold it here. And then maybe placing the hands on that right lower leg. Keep the upper body relaxed. And then maybe you want to hold and thread the hands through onto the back of the left thigh. And if it feels comfortable for your knee, some people do like to hold on the front of the left leg, on the shin just below the left knee, but just make sure there's no horrible sensations in the knees. Whichever feels comfortable for you, whichever's going to work for you today. Then slowly, slowly, slowly float the left foot down towards the floor. And then slowly start to rotate, twist over to the left. Now you can use your block and place your right foot on the block, or you may be able to place that right foot on the floor. I've got my hand on my right foot to keep it in place, and then I'm slowly going to bring my right knee up just to see what sensation that feels like around this hip. If it feels comfortable, if not, I will relax it a little bit more down towards my body. And then I'm going to extend my right arm out so it's in line, my fingertips, my wrists are in line with my elbow and my shoulder. If it feels uncomfortable, you can just bring the arm down towards your side, or maybe your hand is on that right knee. I can feel this stretching all the way around this right hip and my glute. It may feel slightly different for you. My head is in neutral and I'm trying to stay broad across my collarbone, relaxing my shoulders, the backs of my shoulders down onto the floor. And the eyes can be open or closed. And very, very slowly come all the way up to centre. Pause here for a moment. And then float that right foot down to the floor. And maybe a gentle windscreen wiping of the knees from side to side. Slowly come back to centre, hugging the left knee and flex the left foot. Slowly slide that right leg out nice and long. Both feet are flexed. So you may feel a slight sensation down this right hip flexor and this left glute, maybe not. Slowly slide that right leg back in. I'm going to place my right hand on my right thigh. You can grab your belt, your strap or your towel and place it round your left foot. Or maybe you're going to bring your left fingers, the peace fingers, the first two fingers of the left hand to the big toe. Or maybe you're going to hold onto the back of the calf or the back of the left hamstring. Checking that this right leg's still staying active, you're not letting it flop open to the side or into the middle. Left knee can be slightly bent if that feels comfortable for you. And then this side may feel slightly different from the right side. And just enjoy the stretch. If you need to make any adjustments, please do. Whether you want to bring your hands further down the strap, whether you want to keep your hands where they are or place them on your calf or the back of your left thigh. Just listening to the body, how it's feeling, just a mild tension, nothing uncomfortable, no pain. And then just remember, anytime you want to linger a little longer, just press pause and then rejoin in when you're ready. Slowly start to release that stretch. Bending the left knee, placing the left foot onto that right thigh. Relaxing the arms down by the side of your body, flexing that left foot. Slowly float the right foot off the floor. Option to rest that foot on the block if you need to. Upper body is nice and relaxed. Pushing that right thigh into that left foot into that right thigh. Just check in with that knee, the foot and this knee, making sure they feel comfortable. Maybe place the hands onto that left lower leg. Keep pushing that right thigh into the left foot. Maybe threading the hands through to the right thigh. Or maybe you're holding onto the right shin just below the right knee. Only if that feels comfortable for you. Slowly float the right foot down, slowly rotating, twisting over to the right. Left foot can rest on the block, or maybe you feel comfortable with it on the floor. I'm keeping my right hand on that left foot, and I'm slowly bringing my knee up, checking in with the sensations in that left hip glute. Head stays in neutral, arm can just relax down by the side, or maybe it's on that left knee, gently pushing it up. I'm extending my arm out to the side. My fingertips, wrists, elbows in line with my shoulder. I'm staying broad across my collarbone, opening out the chest. But you don't need to, you can just relax that arm. Eyes can be closed or soft. Then if you need to make any adjustments, please do so. And slowly come all the way back up to centre. Just pause here for a moment. And then just gently hug those knees in towards the chest. Separate the feet slightly and just circle out the ankles. And then change direction. And then just gently roll to one side, whichever side feels comfortable for you. Slowly come all the way up, bound angle or butterfly. Soles of your feet come together. Now, for some people this feels uncomfortable, so please grab a block and sit on your block. And then see if that feels a little bit more comfortable for you. Just gives you a little bit more height in the hips, a little bit more space. Or you can sit up against a wall. You can stay here sitting up nice and tall, checking that the weight's even on both seat bones. Another option is to bring the elbows to the knees and just hinge forward slightly and push down. Or I like to hold onto my feet. If you want a little bit more of a relaxing bound angle, just have a little bit more of a space between your feet and your pubic bones. That is fine. Just seeing what you feel like today, seeing what feels comfortable. I'm just going to start off by sitting up nice and tall. The outside edges of my feet are together, so my little toes are touching, softening my elbows. Whichever version of bound angle feels comfortable for you. Eyes can be soft or eyes can be closed. And if you want to make any adjustments, please do so. I'm just going to hinge forward slightly. Staying broad across the collarbones if you're hinging forward. Couple more breaths. And slowly meet up in an easy cross-legged. Slowly reach the fingertips behind you, sit up nice and tall. Maybe the palms are on the floor, open out that chest. Slowly slide the arms round to the centre. I'm onto my fingertips, reaching the right fingertip all the way up to the ceiling. Nice easy side bend over to the left. Maybe releasing the left ear towards the left shoulder so you can stretch out down the side of your neck. Nice and easy. And inhale all the way back up. And let's repeat that. Left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Nice easy side bend over. Maybe releasing the right ear towards the right shoulder. Opening out the left side of the body. And then slowly come all the way back up to centre. Close the eyes. Hands can be on the knees, the thighs or the feet. Palms can face up or down. Checking that the weight's even on both seat bones. Lovely long spine, crown of the head towards the ceiling. Now if you have a meditation practice, you can take a few breaths here. And then you might want to press pause to carry on with your meditation. And just allow the breath to soften. Relaxing the jaw, soften the face. I hope you enjoyed that little leg stretch. I just want to say enjoy the rest of your day or the rest of your evening, and thank you for joining me. Thank you. See you soon. Goodbye.